Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to tonight's edition. I'm getting caught up in my boots here. Welcome to tonight's edition, which is actually episode number 28 of Visibility Made Easy. So, my name's Jenny Kovacs, and just in case you've stumbled across this page, somebody shared it, they've recommended it to you. My name's Jenny Kovacs, and I'm known by many as the Queen of Being Seen. I'm all about visibility, not mine, your visibility, and helping you to stand out, to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, and more importantly, to be remembered for sharing what you love. So, Visibility Made Easy was a series that I put together and rolled out right at the beginning of this year, and it was all around what I noticed within my peers, within my clients, within even people that were doing great guns. Hey, Ali's on. Hi, Ali. I'm waving back at you. Ali's saying, hope you had a fab day. I absolutely did. Thank you so much. So I put these together because one thing I noticed that people were telling me that they were struggling to have clients understand what they do, to be visible, to make an impact, to share what they loved. And one of the things that struck me was that we're very busy people with very busy lives. Hey, Alan's on. He's saying hello. Very busy people with very busy lives, and we seem to be able to overcomplicate things. So this series of Visibility Made Easy is Monday to Friday, right here on this page, every weekday at 7 p.m. UK, 11 a.m. PST, I think it is, and 2 p.m. EST. So if you've never joined one of these before, just to reassure you, I can see a number count, but I can't see who you are. You can see me. So if you want to be more visible, play on in, answer the questions and just join in, say hello, just type hello in the bar below. Now, if you know of other people who could do with raising their visibility, their profile or their credibility, you'll notice there's a share button. Excuse me. Feel free to share with dearie me. So now my phone has decided to start talking to me. So I stop talking, my phone starts. Oh dear, I had a real frog in my throat then. Dearie me. So I've forgotten what I was saying now. Yes. So I start coughing and activate Siri on my other iPod or phone, and it started speaking. So basically I saw a need to simplify visibility, to make it easy, to take it back to brass tacks and take it back to brass roots. And the reason that I find this really easy to do is I've actually been teaching and training this stuff officially since 2012, and unofficially I've been doing it for years. I just thought it was about how people presented themselves and what they did. So if you're watching, just type in the box and say hi. I won't bite, and in fact what I'll do is I'll just say hello back. So already I can see that Ali and Alan are having a nice little chat amongst themselves. Ali's saying, hey Alan, hope is all going well. Alan was saying, hello Jenny, hello Ali. So let me know what you've been up to. Hey, Nazir says hello. Let me know if this is your first time or whether you've been here before. France Lee says hello everyone. Love it. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about your ability, like activating your ability to be visible. Because here's the thing, no matter where you are in your business, you could be thinking of starting a business, you could have started a business, you could have been going for a few years, you could have been going for yonks, you could have 6 businesses. One of the things that I see the most is that it's almost like we get to another level. It's almost like walking on an escalator. At the bottom, you think you've got all kinds of problems getting on the escalator. And then once you get on the escalator and you start moving upwards, you think you've got other types of problems with getting to the top, for example. Then you're near the top and you think, oh, this is good going, I'm nearly there. And then you've got to navigate getting off or whatever. A funny analogy, but true. So no matter where you are in your business, there's always ways in which you can make visibility easy. So that people that are watching this either live now or on the replay get a good sense of the types of things you do. I know that very many of you have your own business. So just type into the box below let me know what your business is about. You don't need to go into like a big elevator pitch or anything else like that, but like just put in, I don't know, coaching or retail, or what you're known for, what people, the thing that I always tell you not to do when you're introducing your business. So if I was playing, I'd just put coaching or something like that. And it helps me to be able to create really useful, I hope useful things that can help me to give examples. Hey, Beta's on. Yes, there she is. She says coaching consultancy. Actually, that's not how you pronounce your name, is it? Beata. That's it. What's wrong with me? Cough for 5 minutes and I lose my marbles. So, yeah, so let me know what you do. Okay, so here's a little something, and this is the reason why I decided this week I wanted to talk about ability activating, because I know there are lots of coaches out there. I know there are lots of consultants. I know there are lots of you that got service-based business. Maybe you're a web designer. Maybe you help people get through a difficult time of their life, or maybe you help them go from wherever and however happy they are to even better. And so I've just seen something quite funny across the room there. So one of the things that you might struggle with in terms of being visible is having like other people understand what you do for them. So this morning on the Monday motivation that I do every week at 7 a.m, it's only for the hardcore, and some of that hardcore are still here on here. At 7 a.m, I talked about activating your ability in a generic sense. So whether it was, looking for the love of your life, or, looking to increase your money, or looking to decrease debt, which Alan, I happen to know, is very good at. In fact, Alan, coming up sometime in the next few weeks, I think, will be running a 21-day challenge, Facebook challenge, to help with either people that are struggling in debt or people who don't want to get into debt. Maybe they've been in debt before or not. So I know that he's going to be helping with that. So tonight, what I'm going to share with you are different ways in which you can be even more visible, be even more seen, be even more heard. And when you see me look down like this, it's just that I've got my Mac literally balancing on my knees. I don't want to miss any comments or anything else like that. And I love it because you guys are so lovely and friendly, and you're all saying hello to each other. I love that. Nice sense of community. So how do we activate your ability to be visible? Now, a really good place to start, and I'll give you sort of like a couple of things to look out for that we can play with even on this call tonight. A couple of things to look out for. Now, think about this. If you are, say, here on Facebook, how often are you going in and interacting with other people in the group? That is a form of visibility. That is a form of invisibility when you've got your head down doing your work and you're like, I'm too busy, I'm not going to go into the group. So how many of you on here, for example, are part of Facebook groups or part of LinkedIn groups? If you are, just give me a thumbs up or a love heart. I'll cough again. Deary me, what is wrong with my throat today? So if you are a part of a group online, it's likely that you are inadvertently being invisible. Now, if you think about this, I run a group, you all know, it's a Visibility Vibes Tribe. And if you don't, please feel free to go over and say hello. Everyone's introducing themselves again in there. I encourage people, and this is another way of remaining invisible. Even though new people are joining all the time, I encourage even the people that have been there for months or any kind of length of time to at least make sure that they're interacting and going in and introducing themselves or reintroducing themselves at least once every couple of weeks. That way, as new people come in, as the feed gets busy, as people are asking their questions and supporting each other, you're always almost at top of mind. You're always able to say hi to new people. You never know how people's circumstances have changed. And it's really great that, people will post in these groups and like and comment underneath. But unless there's an element of what you do in there, and an introduction in that group is a great way to do it, then it makes it really difficult for other people to know what you're about, what you do. And here's the biggest thing that I see, that sometimes people are like missing the opportunities to connect, to collaborate with other people in the group. And sometimes, I know for sure I've been recommended by people. I get recommended all the time based on the groups that I'm in. They're not even my groups, based on how I interact on pages. So on a scale of 1 to 10, our little secret, let me know, with 1 being I hardly ever post in any groups, to 10 being I post in there all the time. Just give me a little indication of where you are on that. Do you post quite a lot? Is it kind of an 8 or a 7 or a 10? Or do you not post so much? Let me know. Type in the box below. Would you say, and this is for kind of any group that you're in, any online forum, doesn't have to be my group or doesn't have to be on here. So let me know what you do. I think we see Penny. If you are, welcome, Penny. What I was getting to do, for those of you that have just jumped on, at the beginning of the call, I asked you just to type in your generic title. What do you do? Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Do you have a retail business? Do you have lots of businesses? Just to put it in the box so I can keep with really good, relevant examples as we go through. And in the meantime, Beata says she did what I said, a video without rehearsing, and posted it into the group. Now, can I just give, can we all literally give some love hearts? And it's a shame there's not a clapping emoji on there, but I am saying thank you, Beata, for that, and thank you for doing that. My biggest kind of pet hate, if you like, my biggest bugbear is would be for me to be able to share these tips and nuggets with you, and for you to write them all down in a notebook, never for them to see the light of day. Sometimes it feels scary, and sometimes we just have to go for it and post things. But Beata has introduced herself in the group, so if you want to see what Beata looks like, go over and type in the Visibility Vibes Tribe, or I'll put a link after this group. It's quite long, facebook.com/groups/be seen, be heard, get visible, and you'll get to meet the tribe in there. So, numbers. So Beata says 6. Ali says 8 to 10. Oh, that's good, Ali. That's really great. Alan says share a lot. Yeah, Alan does share a lot. But Alan, do you type into the group from a point of view of what you do? I don't know which other groups you're in. I can only talk about where you and I share groups. It's okay to talk about what you do and give it some relevance. But here's what I want you to start thinking about, because you've got this ability to be visible, and I actually haven't, because I'm a subject matter expert in the thing that I do, but not in what you do. So all of this week, I want you to really just pick maybe 2-3 groups, and in those groups, I want you, when people are putting in comments and anything else like that, if there's something that's relevant for you and relevant to you, I really want you to get into the habit of being able to help and answer the question. So if, for example, someone was to post into a group and say, it's been a very busy couple of weeks for me, I've just moved house and had to settle my kids into school. Somebody like Ali, for example, who's like the queen of reinvention, helps women to be able to reinvent their lives after, some highs. It doesn't have to be anything like divorce or bereavement or anything else like that. It could be that they've moved house, they're expanding their reach, they're living in their ideal home. She helps women to be able to be reinventive. So the best thing that Ali could do, without being a know-it-all, is to share just a couple of lines of nuggets of information. So this morning, for example, in the group that I run, I've said it's Monday Motivation, and I wanted to know whether people wanted to motivate others or whether they needed to be motivated. That's a perfect opportunity, and I do this. I'm in a number of groups, and there are about 5 or 6 groups that I'm quite active in. And one of them, they'll say, so, how would you motivate somebody? I would always put on my visibility tinted glasses and see what I can share, not plugging myself, not selling myself or anything else like that, but what I can share that is useful to that group, that helps them with their visibility. I mean, for you guys, Alan, it could be, we're now halfway through February. Have you found, that Christmas and New Year and Valentine's Day has wiped you out? Here's a little tip that I'd love to share with you. Now, the reason that people don't do this is because they feel like if I start giving away my juicy stuff, nobody's going to come and buy from me or anything else like that. And that's not true. It's a bit like when you walk around the supermarket and they've got the little sticks of cheese for you to taste. You could just go over, you could buy the block of cheese, you could take it home, decide you love it or don't like it and throw it in the bin. Or you could go over to the person that's behind the counter and say, oh yes, I'd like to have a taste of that, see if it's to my liking. When you're sharing your content, you're sharing, and when you're sharing what you do, you're sharing and allowing people to taste your cheese. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does. So Beata says, I'm now seriously brushing. So France Lee says, she's the Frenchy osteopath. She's an awesome osteopath. Alan's saying he's between 1 and 3. Alan is a lovely man with a very good sense of humour. I see more of Alan's sense of humour than I do his debt stuff. And I know how great he is with helping people to get through debt and to navigate that. And some of the tips that he's even shared with me when we've worked together, like, and everybody could use these, they seriously could. But they're things that you would never think of. I don't want to be a spoiler alert for him, but things like, let's just say your fridge can contain the answer to overspending your debt. Let's just say there are certain habits that you've probably got used to, that you don't even realise you've got used to, that fill you with dread, that can perpetuate the cycle. Am I being too cryptic, Alan? I hope not. I hope I'm doing him justice. He's got like a mine of information, and even though his challenge is 21 days, he's got enough content, I reckon, for 21 years. So don't ever be afraid to share a piece of information. Keep it short, keep it simple. This is all about visibility made easy. Activate your ability by, sharing something that is really useful to the group. So Beata says, for me it's both. I try to motivate others with what I can, but also really appreciate innovation offered to me. And here's, that's a really great point. Here's one of the things that I don't see people do that often, and I have to say I'm quite guilty of this as well. Always happy to give, always happy to give. And sometimes I'm a bit slow to ask. To me it's the same side of the stick. Where's the Afro lady gone? She's down here. This Afro lady has got a story, which the lovely people that are attending the Oh What Shall I Share event that I'm running, it's now sold out in London on the 4th of March, will get to hear the story behind this. But imagine the Afro lady's a stick. On one side of the stick, you've got giving, give, give, give. And the other side of the stick, I won't even describe it as taking, but you've got asking and being open to receiving. And quite often, if you are giving too much, so much that you're feeling resentful, feeling invisible or anything else, often this side's affected, the receiving. It's almost as if you can not be open to receiving. Now that sounds really weird and really random, but this is an important part of visibility. So make sure that you are open to giving, open to receiving, and the best way to start to be able to receive is to ask. Although it doesn't happen too much in the group, I've seen people saying, look, I'm about to do this, how would you recommend I do it? Or I'm about to try this, what do you think? I want to make a green smoothie, what's the best ingredients for me to put in there? I've got a crick in my neck, This morning I saw, one of my friends had posted that they really needed an acupuncturist. Like, how often do we think, gosh, I've got a terrible headache, I don't want to take paracetamol or any kind of drugs, but what else can I do? So get used to reaching out and asking people. So there's a little challenge I'm going to set for you for this week. Every day this week, I want you to build your muscle in asking. How do I know this is a good challenge to set? Because you, like me, love to help people, love to give. And in my experience, those that love to help people and love to give and give and give and give often find it difficult to receive. Now, this is not going to make any sense, and you're going to be thinking, well, what's that got to do with my ability to activate being visible? One of the reasons why sometimes people aren't so visible is because they know at some stage they need to offer their services, sell their products and sell their services, and they don't always know how. And there's like an invisible layer in between that stops people being visible, stops people being active, and that's their ability to receive, whether it's to receive a compliment, whether it's to receive money, whether it's to receive new clients, whether it's to receive feedback on something, whether it's to receive the praise that they know they will get, or the attention. Maybe they don't want to receive attention when they post a video out online. Maybe they put out a post and they scuttle off and hide, and one of the most common, or two of the most common things I see are people not being able to have these phone conversations because they feel really restricted. In April, I've put together something really juicy to help with this, because I think there's, being visible, getting out there, being consistent, managing your time, making an impact, being able to describe what you do, and being able to sell your services without any guilt, without any falter. So I've put together something for a couple of months' time that's going to really help people navigate through all of those. So not only will they be now being really visible and being seen without having to show off or shout or anything else like that, they're also going to be open to receiving, happy to ask but open to receiving. And in my experience, this makes a nice flow throughout a business, to the point where people that have previously just got started or not been making any money have made a consistent amount of money, anything from like the 1,000 to higher amount. So just think about the difference that could make to your life and to your business. So here's something that I want to share, which is kind of similar to what I shared this morning, but it's really, really important. In order to activate your own ability to be visible, there's a habit, a really healthy habit that I'd love for you to get into, and that's tracking. Now, I don't want you to do all of these things in one go. So for the Visibility Vibers, hop into the group, and each day this week, I want you to practice asking for something. Maybe it's advice, maybe it's an opinion, maybe it's a look at this, what do you think? But I really want you to open up to doing that, because it makes a huge difference from the asking and the receiving. The next thing that I want you to do is to find something to track, and the easiest way to do this is look at the goals, look at your ambitions, your plans, your dreams. Is there something that you wanted to have done by the end of this month? So for example, if you're studying, the lovely man is studying something at the moment, and I don't think he's even doing this on a conscious level, but he already is tracking. He's tracking his knowledge levels, like what's my knowledge before I do my study? What's my knowledge levels afterwards? What gaps do I need to fill? And he's not worrying about the gaps that he needs to fill, but he's looking at where he is now, where he wants to get to. When we focus on the how, we twist our melons. We really do. We twist our melons because we get into, well, how's it going to happen? And when we get into the how, it blocks up the possibilities. Opportunities fly in front of our face and we completely miss them because we've got our head in the how, So Jackie's saying, this is a great idea. I find it hard to ask. Yeah, so many of us do. I'm getting better at it, but I'm by no way perfect. So if it would be helpful in the group, I'll do it in the group, because it's a space where only the people in the group can see what you've shared. So if you need help and think, God, what on earth do I ask for? Think about where you are now. Think about just one thing that you want to achieve, where you are now, where you want to be. Think about what you can track. The example I gave this morning was that I realised I had a pedometer on my phone. Who knew? And I've been saying that, I really want to make sure that I'm active. I've done a lot of work behind the computer lately, and if I'm not careful, I could spend hours just sat behind my computer. So I wanted to get out and about, walk to the beautiful Greenwich Park, which isn't too far from me, and I can do a walk where I walk there, walk around the park, sometimes sit there for a bit and come back. There are lots of other places I can walk into Greenwich, can walk into Blackheath and places like that. But I wanted to be able to track what I was doing. So where I am now, let's say no steps, where I want to be, maybe walking, 5 kilometres a day, I need a way of tracking that. Either I need to track how many kilometres I'm walking each day, how many steps I'm walking each day, and I can build them up slowly, slowly. The other thing that is most popular for people to do, maybe it's sales targets. So they'll have a target of a certain amount of money they want to get to, and they'll be adding it up, upwards and upwards and upwards. Or what they might do is be saying, well, I've got this amount to get, and taking the money off. You'll notice within you that either working towards something, so adding it up as you go along, is beneficial, or the opposite way, crossing it off and taking it down. Just feel it in your body. One will feel a bit, and the other one will feel a bit more kind of, a bit useful. So whichever that is, that's the way you need to start tracking. Now, the other thing which often gets a bad rap is gratitude. And I shared this morning that it's quite easy at the end of a day to reflect back on your day and be grateful that the sun came out, the sky was blue, that it didn't stay cloudy all day, that I got to walk to Greenwich Park, that I did I didn't do a Facebook Live, I did a Insta Live, on the Instagram stories. I did a live on there and had some juicy people show up, one of which has now come into the group. I can be grateful for all of those things, but here's where I found it hardest. When you wake up in the morning, you've just had a fresh night of sleep, you want to set yourself up for the day. There's a number of rituals that I go into, but that's another story for another time. If you can wake up in the morning and just straight off the bat be grateful for 3 things. I used to tell myself these stories that, well, that's going to be difficult. How can I know what to be grateful for? My day hasn't started. But you know what? I woke up, my health was spared, I got to see another day. There are people that have can't even switch on a tap and get any clean water out. There's so many things. Grateful for my friends and my family who are here, grateful for the support, all of that kind of stuff. If you can do that at the beginning of the day and at the end, it evokes more of the sorts of feelings that you're actually working towards. And rather than saying, I'll be happy when I'm rich, why not try to be happy now? So it's a really great practice to skill the muscle in looking for gratitude in every single moment. So we've got some comments there. So Beata says, I can get lost in the house. So here's the thing, Beata. Where are you now? Honest representation of where you are now. You'll see some posts and things coming out from a bigger piece from this, but where you are now, where you want to be. Pick one thing. Doesn't matter if it's business or personal, because they all affect each other. Pick one thing and look at a way that you can track what you're doing. Is it that you want to read a book? Track how many pages you're reading. Like tonight, I'm going to read 1 page of my book. Then maybe tomorrow I'm going to read 2. Then maybe the day after that I'm going to go for 3. Maybe you're writing a book, which is Jackie's forte. Maybe it's I'm just going to write 200 words today, or I'm going to find a nice space where I can write. Maybe it's with what Ali does, reinventing yourself. Maybe she might sort of say, well, if you've just moved house and you want to feel happier or something like that, here's something you can track. It could be that you track the number of clients that you approach, not even get, but approach, because you're looking at where you are now to where you want to be. Maybe you're looking at the number of times you can be interactive in a particular group, or maybe you're saying, right, I'm going to pick 3 groups to be interactive with for the rest of this month. Then next month it's going to be 4 groups, and then the month after that it's going to be 5 groups. Maybe you're going to commit yourself to doing 1 video a day, writing 1 blog post a week, 1 blog post every 2 weeks. Maybe you're going to commit that you're going to share and tell people about your page. So these are all now visibility related. I'm kind of keeping it real for you. It could be that you're looking for love and you need to think about how many dates you're going on, how many people you're interacting with. Whatever it is, have a look at how you can track it. But the most juiciest way to track is the feeling, and the best way I know is gratitude in the morning, gratitude at night. So Ali says, many of us find it very difficult to ask. I recently set myself a task to invite at least 10 people every day to like my pages, and very often if I'm inviting people I know, well, I make sure that I send them a personal message. I ask them before I send them the invite. That's proven to be a great way to build my arts muscle. Absolutely. I always remember to publicly thank them as well. I think this is a great way to pass on the positive vibes. It is, absolutely. So it could be asking people to like your page. It could be asking people to join your group. It could be asking people to take a look at your blog, see what they think. It could be asking people to make a comment. It could be asking the right people, I have to say here, how does this blog post read? Now, a little caveat to that. If you have got lots of like caring family members, and you often worry about your confidence in sharing things, they actually might not be the best people to ask because they want to protect you. However, people with a common goal in mind, common vision, common plan are the best people to ask. So, you know, one of my lovely, I call her my sassy sister, lovely accountability partners, every week, virtually every week, we'll be together for an hour and we'll talk about what's been working for us, what hasn't been working for us. It means that when I say this hasn't worked, I'm allowed to express it and then we move on from it. So really good way to brainstorm but mastermind. So do take care with that, but make sure you ask the right people. Beata says, does it have to be different things every day, or could we express gratitude for the same things every day if they really matter? I'm not prescriptive on it. I can't say what you'll be grateful for. You might find yourself, as you get into the practice, and this is what I found for me anyway, in the morning I was like, well, I'm thankful that I made another day. You know, it was like that every day. I'm thankful that I've made another day. I'm thankful that I'm well. I'm thankful, you know, that I've got my friends and family in my life. And I would think of somebody, like, preferably in the last few hours or, you know, the couple of days before. And I kept doing that. And then I realised I was almost getting into habit forming with it. So then I started to look for new things to be grateful for, to kind of supersize it and stretch myself. So just go with the flow. Don't make it a chore and don't make it difficult. Just go with what you've got and see what comes up. You'll start to notice new things. So Beata says, makes perfect sense. Read the tracking. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Leslie. Leslie's in America. Hey, Leslie. Every night before I go to bed, I note 5 things I'm grateful for, 5 things that made me happy, and 5 things I deserve and add a girl for. I like that. Add a girl. Helps me to feel good when I shut my eyes. Absolutely. What I was saying, Leslie, was the bit that I struggle with is gratitude in the morning as well. Because when I've woken up, I would like say to myself, and I still struggle with this now, I would say to myself, oh, what can I be grateful for? The same things. And then I'd be like, you know what, I've woken up this morning, it's not frosty. Hey, I love it when it's not frosty. Or recently I've woken up this morning and it's like just doesn't seem as pitch black as it has been in the winter. Hey, look at that. Beata's already saying hi to Leslie. You know, so all these kinds of things to be grateful for. So as a recap, activate your ability to be visible. Think about something specifically in your business that you can do to be visible, whether it's 1 blog a week or 1 blog a month, you know, the 3rd Thursday of the month. Get into activating that ability and track it. So have it in your calendar, have it, you know, have something that lets you know where you are now, the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. Have a look and a feel as to whether counting up works for you or counting down. So if you're like, you know, adding sales or anything else like that, or you're saying, right, I'm going to write a blog a week, that's 52 weeks, you know, for the next year. Does it work better for you if you've got 52 in a piece of paper and you cross it off to 51 so you can see it counting down? Or does it feel better to count it to 1, 2, 3, up to 52? If you just run it through your body, this sounds strange, but I think you get what I mean. One will feel better than the other. You'll either feel better to count up or better to count down. If it's, you know, gratitude, make sure that you get it out of your head and you note it somewhere. So Leslie says, I have a morning spiritual practice that helps reinforce my mission. So much to be grateful for. I found going through my big why, it's almost like I went through a phase of waking up and saying, oh, my big why's still there. It still makes me want to leap out of bed now. And it, you know, it was really helpful. And Leslie says hi to Beata too. So thank you so much. If you've got any other questions, either type them in the box below. I know that some of you are watching these on the replay. If you think that anything that I've shared or that you've shared will help any of the communities you're in, any of the friends that you work with, any of the other kind of, you know, really change-making businesses that work from home, then let me know. One more thing to say. For those of you in the Visibility Vibes tribe, or if you look at the events tab up here, you'll notice, can't wait, Friday 11 a.m, so it's a bit early for you Americans, sorry. We are going to be speaking to the PR, like, beautiful woman, Brenda Gabriel is a PR person for real change making people, which I know you are. If you know that you're born to make a difference, you don't know how to get it out there to a wider platform or a wider audience, you've got to listen to some of the juicy nuggets that she's going to be sharing. I can't wait. So that's not till Friday. So have a look on the tab above, and even if you don't think you can make it, just click interested or something so it's on your radar. Thank you so much for joining me all. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's edition of Visibility Made Easy, where we'll look more about how you can go for your activating your ability. Beata says, just wanted to say thank you to everyone here who's supported and encouraged me so far. That's why I love you guys. That's why you guys are some of the people that I think about when I wake up, and I'm so grateful to you because, you know, you comment throughout the night, you comment throughout the day. I'm so grateful to you because you have a choice whether to be part of this lovely family of Visibility Vibers or not, and you choose to. So thank you so much. Enjoy your evenings, whatever you do, and we'll continue the conversation maybe over in the Visibility Vibes tribe. So lots of love to you. Have a good evening, have a good lunchtime, and have a good morning for those of you in America. Lots of love. Bye for now. Bye, Alan. Keep talking about those 21-day challenges, Alan. See you. Bye-bye.